Hello? Hello?
Hi, this is Daniel Green. I'm with U.S. Funeral Expenses. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks so much for asking. Okay, I'm with U.S. Funeral Expenses, and based on our records, it shows that you may qualify for a state-regulated final expense insurance plan that's going to cover 100% of your funeral, burial, and cremation expense. Are you between the ages of 50 to 80?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever been diagnosed with any major or minor health issues like high blood pressure, diabetes, dementia, or cancer?
No.
I'm glad to hear that. This is just to confirm if you qualify for an additional discount. How old are you?
67.
Okay. Do you smoke or chew tobacco?
No.
Great. You do qualify for some additional discounts if you're a non-smoker. Wonderful. You're qualifying just fine. So let me quickly bring one of our insurance specialists on the phone, and they'll tell you exactly what kind of benefits you qualify for today. How's the weather where you're at?
Pretty good.
I'm glad to hear that. It would only take a few seconds to connect your call. Please stay with me.
Thank you so much for
Hold
holding
on.
on the line. This is Oliver. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
Hi, I'm Lindsay.
All right, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am also good. Thank you so much for asking. Your call got transferred over to me, and I'm going to verify your information just to make sure my associate did not make any mistake. Then I will connect your call with one of my benefit coordinator. I got quick yes and no question determine eligibility, okay?
Okay.
Do you have any major health conditions such as cancer, dementia, CHF, or HIV?
No.
You do make your own financial decision or somebody helps you with them?
I make my own decisions.
You are still residing in the state of California?
Yes.
What's your date of birth, Lindsay?
November 3rd, 1956.
56. You are currently 67 years old, right?
Correct.
Now, Lindsay, we have three different coverage plans to give you the codes, discounts, and benefits. Lowest one we have is 5,000. Middle one we have is 10 to 15,000, or the highest one we have is 20 to 25,000. Which one you want to see the information on? Lowest one, middle one, or the highest one?
20,000, please.
All right, just to qualify you for some additional discounts, you do have an active checking or savings account, correct?
Yes.
All right, so all this thing here looks like you are perfectly qualified for these benefits. What I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in every benefit coordinator. They're going to take quick 10 to 15 minutes and provide you all information. Then you decide what to do next, okay?
Okay.
And you are looking this policy just for yourself today, or would it be your spouse or loved one as well?
For myself.
Just for yourself. And how do you pronounce your last name, Lindsay?
Gardner.
All right, you're in California. What's your zip code down there, man?
90813.
Do you smoke, ma'am?
No.
All right. And in case if you really like our plan and benefit after see the codes, you will consider it as an option for yourself, right?
Yes.
So just stay on the line, ma'am. I'll introduce you. You don't have to repeat yourself again and again, okay?
Okay.
Meanwhile, how's the weather down there today in California? Still sunny today?
It's really pretty.
Mm-hmm. Just give me a second. Kitchen with us in a moment. Here we go.
Thank you for holding. This is Paul, and who do I have today?
Yes, Paul, I got Lindsay Gardner from the state of California, 90813, her zip code. She is 67 years old, 11 the 3rd of 1956, her date of birth. Looking to see a plan of 20,000 for herself. I did confirm with ma'am she do have an active checking or savings account. Kindly assist her further. You both have a great day.
Beautiful day for a beautiful lady. How are you doing today, Miss Gardner?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very blessed, thank you. My name is Paul Brooks, and I'm the Senior Benefits Coordinator. You have been transferred over to me to get you with some options on final expenses, right?
Hmm.
Do you want to sign up this policy for yourself or for somebody else?
For myself.
Okay. The guy mentioned, with the blessings of God, you are 67 years young, and date of birth for the herd is November the 3rd, 1956. Did I hear right?
Correct.
Could you tell me a little bit about your health, Mrs. Gardner? What kind of health issues do you have? God forbids.
I'm perfectly healthy. I do have like seasonal allergies, and obviously I'm allergic to like cats and dogs, which sucks because I can't have any pets. But you know, that's not like a major health problem. That just means you take your allergy meds and you're fine.
Gotcha. And since you have allergies, like, do you take or use any nebulizer, inhaler anytime?
No, it's not. It's nowhere near that bad.
Okay. Do you take any prescription for that, like citrazine, montelukast?
No, nothing prescription, just over the counter.
Gotcha. How tall are you, approximately?
I'd say I'm around 5'6".
And how much do you weigh on the good day?
Around 135 pounds.
All right. And do you smoke or are you a non-smoker lady?
Non-smoker.
Okay. Do you drive a car?
Yes.
For the past 2 months in our state, have you been convicted for reckless driving, or do you have any charge or any ticket against you?
No.
Awesome. And for how long have you been living down here in California?
The vast majority of my life, I was born in Texas, but we moved here when I was like 2, so 65 years.
And so it's a home, and I must tell you, we're connected here. What city are you from? I'm from Sugarland, Texas. I'm born in Texas. I'm from Southwest. Where are you from?
I was born in Dallas, Plano to be specific.
Oh.
But again, we moved when I was 2, so.
Oh, okay, like 280 miles from my hometown, though. Have you ever heard about like Houston, Sugarland, Pearland, Springs, Orange?
The Woodlands, that whole metropolis, because yeah, there's a lot of sprawl there.
Absolutely. Okay. And what city are you in currently? I'm in Fresno. Where are you at?
Long Beach.
Oh, like 240 miles from me. Okay. And do you use any cane, walker, wheelchair, or nothing?
Nothing.
When was the last time you had to spend a night in the hospital? Do you recall by any chance?
I don't think I ever have. I've had some ER visits, but never had to stay overnight. I was discharged very quickly.
Okay. And you did say that you not taking any prescriptions, right?
Right.
Fantastic. And ma'am, do you use a regular bank or the credit union?
Regular bank.
I want you to grab a pen and paper.
Okay. Okay, I'm ready.
Right on my name. My first name, Paul, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
My middle initial J, like Jelly. Last name, Brooks, Brooks. My direct line office number is 210-890-3898. My extension code is 123. And my national provider insurance ID number, it would be CA, like California, 10981.
Got it.
Thank you very much. Now, Mr. Gardner, this policy is designed by the state back in the year 2020. When the COVID comes, the state approved some additional benefits for those senior citizens who live above the age of 50 and those who already have their life insurance products in place. This is going to be an immediate death coverage plan, like there is no waiting period. Anytime if something happens to you, God forbid, your family will get the money within 24 hours. So let me ask you, when the time comes, are you more looking towards for the cremation, burials, or you just want to leave something for the kids?
So I'm personally always been more in the cremation. It can't because it's cheaper, but I know my kids are gonna demand a burial. Like they want, the tombstone and the gravesite to put the flowers down, and so and you gotta give your kids what they want. And it's not that much more expensive, is it? Because I always thought cremations were like dirt
That's
cheap.
right.
They were still like 5-6 grand at that point. Just get a casket and go all in.
Hmm. That is true, man. Like if you do, like if you would go for the burial part, like burial cost is about like $15,000 to $17,000, which will include like opening, closing, headstones, burial vault, embalming, casket, transportation, and everything. But if you like prefer to go for the cremation thing, like the cremation cost is only $1,500 to $2,000, not more than that these days. But that's all up to you, like what kind of cremation that your beliefs fall under. Some people go for the like regular cremation. Some people do believe on a like a fancy cremation, like to book an airplane to spread the ashes over in the air. So that costs up to like $20,000. But it looked like that you're not that kind of person to go for the fancy part. So I have generated some options. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you step. And you, how many kids do you have, Miss Gardner?
2.
Okay, and do you live by yourself or with them?
By myself.
Okay. And do they come around to see you often?
Yeah, they're close by, so they can come visit often.
Okay. All right, ma'am, I have generated some options for you. I'm going to go ahead and tell you step by step in this policy. We're not going to bother you to put you on any medical thing. I was trying to say that I have 3 options. I'm going to go ahead and tell you step by step in this policy. We're not going to put you on a medical thing or the medical exams. Even we're not going to send you to the doctor. Or no nurse come out to your house to draw blood or something like that, because this policy is offered by the state. You are not here to pay anything today, not tomorrow, not this week, or not this month. Being a benefits coordinator, my job is to get you approved, give you the policy number, and after we'll have to give you more 35 days to look it over, then you can make the first payment. So the first option here, if you would go for the $10,000 coverage, the immediate plan, no waiting period, the $10,000 policy is going to cost you $52. The second option, ma'am, if you would go for the $12,000 policy, the $12,000 policy is going to cost you $60. And the third option, if you would go for the $8,000 coverage, the $2,000 for the cremation and $6,000 for the beneficiary, if you want to leave, the $8,000 policy is going to cost you $42.
These are still pretty affordable. Do you have a 15 by chance?
Sure, man. We do have $35,000, the highest one here.
Wow.
But I can tell you on the $15,000 here, if you would go for the $15,000 coverage, ma'am, it will cost you $75. But I can tell you the good news, the good part here, let's say if you're getting the $15,000 policy in $75, but let's say if you want to get the $25,000, you can also, you can get the $25,000 in just $105.
Yeah, I think that'd be better. I was hoping it would be around 100 or under. So 105 is, yeah, it's fine. And I mean, 25 is more than enough. You could have one heck of a funeral with that much money. So,
Right.
You could have a proper burial with a
that
nice
is right.
casket and a service. And that's what they would want. So let's give them that.
Everything. Yep, and even you can also leave like almost $10,000 for the kids as well, like, or for the grandkids if you have some, so you can leave it for them as well. So what do you think? The 25 would be good for 105, or because with this policy, you can make the changes anytime. There would be no obligations or no restrictions, or it doesn't matter how old you are. You can always get the same price, so you can easily make the changes anytime. So do you think 25 would be good, or the 15 would be good?
Let's go with 25, just to be safe.
All right, and you did tell me that you're born in Texas, and when did you move to California? Back in which year?
When I was 2, so 50.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
Yep, 65 years, huh? Okay. Spell out your first and last name with your middle initial.
So first name Lindsay, no middle initial. Last name Gardner.
All right. And are you legally married, single, widow, or divorced?
Single.
Okay. And do you have an email address, Ms. Gardner, like Gmail, Amazon, Hotmail, or Outlook, or you don't have one?
It's just my first name and last name, 56@gmail.com.
Okay. Your first name, last name, lowercase letters, and the year you're born, 56 at gmail.com.
Correct.
Did I hear right?
Yes.
Okay. And what's your physical address? Where you currently living at in Long Beach?
Right. It's at an apartment, so it's 1081 Long Beach Boulevard,
Mm-hmm.
apartment 134,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Long Beach, California 90813.
Okay. So you said it is, what was the first word you just say? You said SIM 81?
1081 1081.
I got it now here. So that is 1081 Long Beach Boulevard, apartment 134, Long Beach, California, 90813. For how long you been staying at the same address? More than 6 months or less than that? Less than 6 months.
More than 6 months for sure.
Okay. And who would be your beneficiary to this policy? You can put for, but you can add or change any time.
My daughter can be the beneficiary.
What's her name?
Julie Cooper.
JulieCooper. Being a good mother, do you remember her date of birth, or do you know how old is she as of today?
She's 41. It's February 3rd, 1983.
1983. I'm 1984. Just turned 40, 20th March. Okay. And would you like to put your second beneficiary after Miss Julie Cooper?
I'll just leave it her. Chase isn't really like responsible. Knowing him, he would like lose the paperwork or something. He's just not like, really with it. So
Okay.
she'll be fine.
Gotcha. But you make sure you still have the space to put more three. Later on, if you want to add anybody else, we can do it anytime with the help of your policy number. You can make the changes online. But if you don't want to take that head, you can always let me know, so I will do the changes by myself right there. And what is the name of your hospital? If something happens to you, where would you prefer to go?
Probably the one in Long Beach. What is it called? It's like St. Mary's or something. It's the one I usually go to. I think it's like
you go to AVSC?
So if I had to go to a hospital, the one I have gone to in the past is the one on Linden, St. Mary's Medical Center.
Okay. So that is at 1050 Linden Avenue.
Yes.
Put it down that one here. Okay. And do you have any primary doctor or the physician to go to once a month or twice a year?
Since I don't go to the doctor often, I don't have like a dedicated PCP. I have a clinic that I go to, and they just kind of assign me to whoever's around that day. Especially if I have like an urgent care thing.
Okay. But you don't have any primary physician or no primary doctor?
Right.
Okay. That what shows that you're not facing any troubles with the health, huh? So kicking in, you're 67. All right. Let me get back to the previous page. You said that your height is 5'6" and 135 pounds.
Correct.
State out your social one digit at a time. All I can see is Sterix, and your social ends with the numbers 5462. Did I hear right?
Yes.
All right. And next month, when do you typically get paid, ma'am? Like on the 1st of the month, on the 3rd of the month, or every other Wednesday?
The 1st of the month.
1st of the month. And do you currently do any side business, or you just stay home all day?
I mean, I have hobbies, but they don't generate income, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. What's your hobbies? What do you look? What do you like to do the most?
Um, I love to travel whenever I get a chance to. Hiking, though it's
Okay.
a little harder to do hiking. Like you said, you're like in Fresno, right? So you guys are like
Uh huh.
decently close to Yosemite and Sequoia and all the national parks. Lucky. It's
Right.
quite a drive from
You
Long
know
Beach.
that. When was the last time you've been in Fresno?
Well, I mean, pass through because it's on 99, so you on the way up to like Yosemite, you'll pass through there. But obviously, like all the good national
Okay.
parks, like Shasta, everything's like central North California, so it's hard to get up there with the traffic. But
Right.
some great hikes. That's some great hikes.
Okay. Oh wow. And you still have your family members down there in Texas?
No, everyone moved here to Long Beach. When we all moved together. So, and then of course my children are here.
Uh. Oh, so it's a home now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And man, what is the name of your financial institution? I mean, who do you do your banking with, and for how long? It must be more than 2 months.
Chase, and yeah, I've had them for years, probably decades, really.
You said Chase,
Yes.
and you can pick any number, like 10 years, 20 years, so I can just put it down here.
We can say 10 years.
10 years. And what branch you go to? You go to 940 Long Beach Boulevard, or you go to Carson Street or Ocean Boulevard?
I think it's the one on Signal Hill. You could put any of them. It doesn't really matter. They're all, in California.
Okay. And now the last thing here in your application, I can see a routing number. I'm just going to go ahead and read the numbers for you. You can tell me that we're on the same page. Let me know once you're ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
The routing number starting with the number 322-271. You have to verify the last three numbers. It ends at 7.
627.
That is absolutely correct. Did you memorize it, don't you?
Online banking to the
Oh,
result.
wow. And gotcha, man. And follow by that, what is your account number?
649-312-472.
All right. Is it a checkings or is it a savings?
Checking.
And what is your driver's license? Alrighty, ma'am. Thank you very much. Now, Ms. Gardner, I have 2 notices here given by the state of California. I'm just going to go ahead and read it for you. You have to listen carefully. Are you ready?
Yes.
And the first notice is given by the state is a HIPAA Disclosure Compliance Protection, TCPA. I would like to let you know that all of your personal and your health-related information collected over this federal line, which is completely confidential and protected by federal HIPAA laws, federal privacy laws, and FCC laws. What this means is that none of your medical or other private information will ever be disclosed without your prior written authorization unless required by the law. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And the second notice is going to be a fraud notice. Any person who knowingly presents false information or if I made any mistake knowingly in the application form of Ms. Lindsay Garner, that is going to be guilty of a crime and may be subject to civil fines, criminal penalties, jail, and we cannot put our license in danger for any reason. It means that I'm not supposed to make any mistake in your application. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Fantastic, ma'am. Now the state underwriter is going to come on the line and get you with your policy number, and after that I will have to take about 2 to 3 business days to send all the policy papers to you where you can look it over, you can check all the benefits and everything.
He then proceeds to give me his cell phone number, which is no longer in service.
Well, how do you maintain yourself? I mean, you were 67, no prescriptions, nothing like that. How do you do that? I know that God has been very good to you, man.
I mean, it helps to be a non-smoker. It definitely helps to be active. I feel like we're such a car-centric society. Everyone just drives everywhere, and the most people ever walk is from the parking lot to the store. And so it's like, why not walk around your neighborhood or walk to the nearest store, go to downtown and just walk. Get rid of the car, walk places.
Wow. I hear you. Well, bless your heart. Just keep the same pace and same flow, and don't let anybody ruin your beautiful rhythms.
Add more criteria.
And you said that you were single, right?
Yes.
Don't you have any good plans to get married?
Perhaps, but I mean, also, when you're married, you're quite tied down. You know, you have to depend on another person. You have to organize everything another person. Like, I solo travel, and it's just amazing. I travel, I get to do what I want, when I want to. I want to do this now. I just do it. I
That
don't have
is
to consult
true.
with somebody else.
That's true. That's true. And what was your profession when you were in your 30s or 40s?
I was an
Miss
accountant.
Gardner? I'm sorry?
An accountant.
Oh, okay. And when did you quit doing that?
When I retired at 65, I could have kept going, but I just, I wanted to travel a lot. And the firm I was working with had a pretty restrictive vacation policy. They weren't super flexible. So I was like, let's go travel. Screw it.
Wow. And when was the last time you've been in Texas?
I know I had a layover in Dallas a couple years ago, but I haven't gone back to visit. I don't know. I want to go to do cruises out of Galveston, but I mean, you have to fly into Houston. It's what, like
Oh,
an hour
okay.
drive, right? From Houston to Galveston.
Right.
And so, like,
Right, man.
do I rent a car, or there's no train, or there buses? I'm trying to figure out how to get there, essentially.
Right. And have you ever heard about Sugarland? It is like very close to Houston, like 15 miles. I'm sure you did.
Yeah, it's a suburb, I believe.
Yeah, it's a beautiful small town between Katy and Houston. That's my home.
Remember the 28 lane Katy freeway that goes from Katy to Houston?
All right. And I must tell you that my dad owns the restaurant down there. He got Sugarland at 227 Lone Star. So whenever you have some kind of good plans to go to Texas, I can take there anytime. Or even I can take the good places that don't belong in Texas. Okay, I think I got the signal here from the underwriter, Miss Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just going to be here a soft beat, and she will be on the line for you to get you with your policy number. And make sure if the underwriter asks you some basic health questions, so you're not supposed to explain anything, you can just go with a no.
Okay.
One-time process, and they're going to get you with a policy number. And anytime you need my help, though, I mean, you can feel free to say my name, and I'll be one call away. All right?
Sure.
Any questions for me, Miss Gardner, you want me to answer?
I can ask you after we do this process. Let's not keep the underwriter rating.
Oh, thank you very much, ma'am. So let me go ahead and connect your call, get your policy number, and God bless you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much for being very nice to me. Here we go.
Hey, Pastor Holden, this is Camilla. Do we have Miss Gardner on the line?
Yeah, hi.
Amazing. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. I mean, considering it's a Monday, if you know what I mean. But thank you for asking.
They made y'all work on a holiday?
Alrighty. Well, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, really did. Alrighty. Again, this is Camilla. We're on a recorded line, and I'm the licensed underwriter for California. We're obviously going to be assistant qualifying you for the right insurance plan. Our plans are super quick to pay out, usually within 48 hours, easing financial worries during tough times. Now let's start off with a few questions to confirm your details. And let me see, followed by medical questions to ensure eligibility. By the end of this call, you will have a policy in effect. All right. And before we continue, though, can you write down my contact information in case we get disconnected?
Sure.
Ready?
Verification. Go ahead.
The name's Camilla. It's spelled C as in cat, A as in alpha, M as in Mary, I as in ice cream, L as in love. L as in love again, A as in alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the number is 210 890 3898.
That's
All
the
right,
same number
and
that
can
you
you
gave.
spell your full name out for me, please?
So first name Lindsay, no middle initial. Last name Gardner.
Perfect. And your date of birth, please?
November 3rd, 1956. 38.
Okay, I have your height here is 5'6". It says you weigh 135 pounds. You were born in Texas. And let me see, your email is first name, last name, the number 56@gmail.com. Is this correct?
Yes.
And is this a cell number?
So Camilla, you're the verification agent from the insurance company or from the brokerage?
I am basically a licensed agent.
Oh, okay.
So I will be your agent of record.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense. So then what does Paul do?
Yeah, and the policy we're getting you is with... So basically, he's the guy who's supposed to make sure, we've got all the information that's correct and everything. And so I will obviously be finalizing the policy for you. I have licenses with multiple companies.
Right.
Is how that works. And the policy we're getting you with is Royal Neighbors, which is, again, a day one coverage plan for $25,000. It's going to be $105.35. Does it sound doable?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. And do we want to add the grandchild rider onto the policy where you can have your grandkids covered up until the age of 21? They have to be under 18, though, for a certain amount of extra monthly premium. Or do we just want to stick with what we're doing for now?
He didn't mention that was an option at all. We talked about additional beneficiaries. But
Yeah.
He didn't mention
Mm-hmm.
grandchildren being or anything. He didn't mention anything about that.
Yeah, you can have them covered as well. They will be covered up until the age of 21. I think the additional monthly premium is $5-something in total. They have to be under 18, though.
Yeah. And we have to add it at time of application?
I mean, we can add it later on if that's just something you want to think about.
Yeah, because I personally don't mind. I'd have to talk to my kids about, if they're okay with it, because you kind of should get their consent and to really look into it. This is my first time hearing about it, so, I just don't want to make a... So, yeah, we can do it later.
Sure. You think about it, no props. And it makes total sense to, have a chat with them. Of course, consent is super important. All right, can you confirm your mailing address for me, please?
1081 Long Beach Boulevard, apartment 134 in Long Beach, California, 90813.
Perfect. We got done with the date of birth bit. And for claims and underwriting purposes, what's your social?
457.
Do you have any other policy in place for yourself, or is this going to be the only one?
This is the only one.
Perfect. So no policy replacement. We've got your daughter, Julie Cooper, as the primary beneficiary at 100%. Date of birth is February 3rd, 1983. That's 8-3.
Yes.
Okay, just a moment. And I have your driver's license here as... Is this I as an ice cream, or does it start off with 2-2? 1.
So that's what we were trying to figure out. I'm fairly certain it's a capital I, but it could be a lowercase L. I was trying to talk to with. He's like, "Oh, just give me the numbers. We'll figure it out." I'm like, "Okay, sure." I'm guessing capital I, 2-2, and then I went through it. So I'm like, I still don't know.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a 1. It's definitely not a 1 because they would have like a little point on it. But
I think it could be capital I because it doesn't have lowercase letters.
Yeah, that would make
On my driver's license here, I have 0 lowercase letters. So I think since it's all uppercase, it's probably a capital I. I mean, the issued state, is it California, though?
Yes.
I feel like all California licenses start off with a C.
I've seen ones that start with A, so maybe it depends on like what your classification is. Like if you're a Class C, you get 1 letter. If you're not, you get A. Who knows?
Yeah. That also makes sense, yeah. All right, I do need to ask you these questions for the recording. Ms. Gardner, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Have you ever been convicted of a felony?
No. She never said the call is being recorded. Just for the
record.
record.
Just a moment. Alrighty, know their policy. Glad we have this covered. And no primary care physician?
Right. I have a clinic that I go to. And so when I have a physical or if I have like an urgent care, they just kind
Dignity Health?
of assign me, whichever physician is around.
Okay, gotcha. And that's Dignity Health, the St. Mary Medical Center?
See, I don't know why he asked me. I think he asked me, like, when your time comes, what hospital you want to go to. I'm like, I guess. I don't know why he would ask for a hospital. Was he trying to ask the clinic name and he just messed it up?
Question. Okay, what's the clinic's name?
Memorial Care Medical Group. She asked me the standard medical questions that you get with these policies and read me the same disclosure that Mr. Brooks did.
Okay, just one moment. It's just the portal is super slow today. I feel like, of course, it's supposed to be a holiday, so I guess it's on holiday.
So, Camilla,
somebody is.
Do you and Paul work for the same group? I guess since you're brokers.
Yeah.
And who do you guys work for?
We do. U.S. funeral expenses.
Cool.
Oh, let me see. Do you remember the face amount U.S. funeral expenses?
Yeah.
Do you remember the face amount you guys were going with? Was it 20,000 or?
It should have been 25.
Should be 25. Let me just confirm one more time. Okay, so one slight problem. I think he accidentally pitched you rates for a lower age group. That's on him. And I think this changes our plan a bit. Just give me one moment. Can you hear me okay, Ms. Gardner?
Yes.
Okay. So he accidentally quoted you rates for, age 63. And that's obviously on him. So we can either, if you want to stick to the same face amount, which is 25,000, the monthly premium would actually be, let me see, $121.35. But if there is a lower plan you want to go through with, we could do 20,000. Let me see with. Or 21,000 would be. Yeah, we could do 21,000 for 102.63.
Yeah, that would work. I mean, 25K was a little excessive anyway, so 21 works better, and that's roughly the same price as I was quoted for 25, so that works.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to be 102.63, yeah. If you want to write that down.
Yeah, I got it.
Go right ahead.
Verification.
Okay, so again, $102.63 is what it's going to be. Okay, perfect. And you do have the electronic funds transfer mode enabled on your account, right? You could pay bills online and stuff, and it could be automatic transactions if you wanted it to be.
Yes.
Perfect. Have you had any fraudulent activity take place on your account in the last 60 days?
No.
Okay. Just one moment. Okay, I think we're having a problem with the account number. Are you reading this off of your checkbook?
Off of online banking, there's only one account number. It's the account number, not the routing number, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's like 3 different routing numbers, but there's only one account number. So if that's the problem, I don't know.
The account number I have again is the routing number you're giving me. Is this the one for wire transfers, or what does it say? Direct deposit?
Mine says paper and electronic. There are ones for wires, but I assume we don't want wires.
Yeah, we don't want wires. So this one is for EFTs, right? So that's perfect. But I think the account number, okay. Is there any zeros that we're missing, or?
None that I can see on my end. I know that sometimes checking accounts are 12 digits, so I would think the system is smart enough to know that's not the case here, but if you want to add leading zeros, who knows? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Do you have a checkbook?
It's probably in the safe deposit box. I don't usually write checks, so, you're not supposed to. I mean, who writes checks anymore?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, well, that's true. That's very true. I don't, but... Okay.
And, of course, it's a holiday, so I can't just walk into a bank branch and get them to sort it out.
All right, so we're going to have to sign this application electronically. I can either send you a link via text or email, whichever one works better for you. So let me know which one would be a better option.
Let's do email, just to make it better. So it's...
You can access your email right now?
Yes. Okay.
Once you click on the link, you will need to enter a secure code. Let me know once you've clicked on the link and I will give you the code.
Okay. This is one of those classic deals where they send me a link for me to sign a bunch of different documents. I never like signing these, so classically I just pretend to read it and stall and waste as much more of their time as I possibly can. I do crack this joke. Oh, so you can have multiple beneficiaries and like split the pot. You mean like you get half, you get half.
Yeah.
Does anyone do anything fun, like list someone they don't like? Like I would put my aunt for like 1% and be like, here, you get like 2 grams, enjoy.
Actually, no, it's been, I think, 5.5 years that I've been doing this, so nobody's done that so far. You're clearly the most fun person I've ever had a chat with. Well, it actually would be fun. Okay, so 1%.
Or go fractions, like you get 0.5%, enjoy. Like if you had a son you weren't particularly fond with, you're like, you get this tiny amount, enjoy. I didn't forget you, I remembered you. You get 1%, enjoy.
Go do whatever.
But otherwise, I'm just wasting their time. Eventually, I decline to sign or just quit out of the application, but tell her that it was successful, and she's very confused as to why it doesn't say success on her end, so that drags out further.
All right, so did they say it was signed, or what was the last thing you saw?
Well, I closed out of it, but it's something like successful or something. It was just the screen with like 1 or 2 lines of text, but it looks like it worked on my end. There might have been a check mark as well. I should have stayed on that page. But...
Okay. Yeah, because it's telling me we need to finish the signing process prior to submitting the application here, and I'm unable to move past that.
By the way, Camilla, do you have an email address?
I do. Is there someone you want to email Me?
I would think like if I had questions, because obviously there's phone numbers, but then like if you're busy, then I have to leave a message, I have to play
The
phone
better,
tag, it's like...
yeah, the better option, you can also drop a text on another number that I can give you, which is an easier way of reaching out to me. Okay. Did we submit?
Yes.
Oh, it says decline to sign.
What?
Okay. Are you hitting the option where it... Are you hitting the option where it says, apply your signature and then it applies the whole signature?
Yeah, I hit all the signs and then I hit finish.
I don't know what it's trying to do here. Let me see. Oh, this is a lot. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I don't know what's up with our neighbors today. It's just, and you're hitting signs, so this should just go through.
Keep in mind, this is like an hour into the phone call, and this happened on Memorial Day, so she probably doesn't want to be working. I do feel a little bad for Camilla, but before you pull out your sympathy cards, she's not as clean as she seems.
Okay. Do we want to try a different carrier, if that's okay with you, Miss Gardner?
Or we could try it again tomorrow when it's not a holiday. This starts the first, so I'm not in a
Royal
rush.
Neighbors is okay. It's just their portal isn't working.
Yeah.
Okay. I can actually try this one here, and it doesn't even take that long, and you don't have to really sign anything. I can just text you a code, and we should be done with it. It's with Prosperity. Again, 21,000. It would be 103.47. It's with Prosperity. Same benefits.
So we switched to Prosperity Life, and after a 10-minute endeavor that involves her sending me 2 separate codes via text message that I had to verbally confirm to her.
All right, congratulations on your new life insurance policy with U.S. Funeral Expenses. Again, just to give you an overview of the plan. It is a day one coverage plan with Prosperity. So for any queries, just reach out anytime at 210-890-3898, the same number I gave you earlier on from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. EST. Thank you for choosing us, Ms. Gardner. You have an amazing rest of your day.
You too, thanks.
Bye-bye.
What was that speed run at the end? She's just like, if you have any questions, call the number I gave you. I will be back. Okay, and now she's gone. I'm just gonna leave this running to see how long, but everyone's leaving the call. I'll get kicked soon, I feel like. There's the third person leaving the call. How many people were on this call? Jesus Christ. That's 3 people simultaneously. Oh, and the call dropped. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was an hour and 43 minutes. I think that's a new record. Thank you to everyone still watching. I tried to condense that call as much as possible, but when you have nearly 2 hours of audio, there's only so much that you can cut. So let's get to the investigation part, shall we? Let's begin with Paul J. Brooks. Now, he claims to be a licensed agent. Camilla said that he's just the guy who kind of handles the details and see if you qualify, but he's not a licensed agent, but he claims he is. He gave me an NPN number, but there's no way for me to verify NPN numbers. Only insurance companies can. But we can try looking him up in the state registry. So if we do a name search in the state of California, there's a Paula J. Brooks, but in terms of Paul Brooks, there are 2. Only one of them is based in California. However, the one that's in California is in Sherman Oaks, California. Paul claimed to be in Fresno, California, which is about 3 hours north of Sherman Oaks. Clicking into the Sherman Oaks listing, this guy isn't even licensed for life insurance, and he's been inactive since 2020. All of these listings are inactive, so there is no active licensed Paul Brooks in the state of California. Now, of course, agents can be licensed in multiple states. That's very common. However, if he's going to help someone in the state of California, he has to be licensed in the state of California, and he is not. The phone number he gave me to call him back is 210-890-3898. It is hosted by Peerless, which is a VoIP provider, and the caller ID is for San Antonio, Texas, which makes sense for somebody who's based in Fresno, California, of course. It's very typical for scams. You'll see this. They have VoIP providers instead of Verizon, AT&T, Frontier, US-based providers. They'll use VoIP services. When I called this number in the past, I got this.
The person at extension 4001 is unavailable. Please leave your message after the tone.
Which might be what was happening with the final expense robot that kept failing to transfer me. It was trying to call this number and was getting the exact same message. However, when I called it more recently, this happened.
Thank you for calling U.S. Funeral Expenses. This is Neil. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking to?
Hi, I'm Lindsay.
All right, how can I help?
Do you know if Paul is in?
Paul, can I have a last name?
Brooks. I think his extension
Brooks.
is 123. Let me
Yes,
double check
that's
that for you.
actually one of our agents. And can I ask what you were calling about?
I told him I had a question about my life insurance policy, but he insisted on answering it himself and would not transfer me to Paul. So unfortunately, I did not get to speak to Paul Brooks, but it's good to know that he's still around. Paul also gave me this 559 number, and it's weird because initially he talked about how this was in case I had questions like over the weekend. It was a cell phone number, and he made it sound like it was his cell phone number, but then he quickly interjected after he gave me the number, like, my assistant, Pete Davidson. It is with Cinch, which is another VoIP provider. So we have Peerless and we have Cinch. It is not a mobile number, even though he swore it was a cell phone number, and it traces to California. Initially, when I tried calling this number, I did indeed get somebody named Peter.
You've reached Peter Davidson. I'm not available right now. Please leave your name, your number, and I'll call you back.
But when I tried calling it recently, this happened.
The number you are trying to reach is no longer in service.
Okay, so Paul is a dud. What about Camilla? Well, this is a similar story. Paul said that she's just an underwriter to verify my information, but she claims she's a licensed agent. And the fact that she was able to go from Royal Neighbors to Prosperity and signing me up for the other one means that she'd have to be a licensed agent, take me through that process. For a contact number, she gave me the exact same phone number that Paul Brooks did. She did not give me an extension, but she did give me the exact same call number. And I did notice it. I just didn't call her out on it. But yeah, there you go. She also gave me this alternative 561 number in order to text her. She was very specific. It was for texting her in case I had any questions. This 561 number is with Twilio, which is another VoIP provider. So we have Twilio, Peerless, and Cinch, and it's not a mobile number, and it is based in Florida. So we have numbers in Florida, Texas, and California. Initially, when I called this number, this happened.
The person at extension 4001 is unavailable. Please leave your message after the tone.
But more recently, this happens.
Thank you for calling American Final Expense. Please stay on the line. Your call is very important to us. Did you know that our average policy costs less than a cup of coffee? Get qualified today.
No clue who American Final Expense is. I thought this was U.S. Funeral Expenses. Regardless, I did text the number as Camilla requested, and shockingly, she did not text back. I gotta say, it's a little ironic that the people who rely on cold calling unsolicited to do their business make it difficult to reach them. It's understandable, but it's ironic. Another dead end with the phone numbers. However, there's more. She sent me a copy of the Royal Neighbors of America application, and there is a certification statement for her, and it has a gold mine of information. See, this is why I do this. I could just call them scammers within 30 seconds and get hung up on, or I can spend an hour and a half with them on the phone and get access to stuff like this so I can find out exactly where these calls are going, or at least try to. So her agent number, I think this is internal to Royal Neighbors or something, or maybe the company she's with, so I can't do anything with that. We have a license number, but I don't know what state this is with, so we'll hold on to that. Her name is Camilla Williams. Her typed signature, this was on Memorial Day, as previously mentioned. Her name, again, is Camilla Williams. We have an email. Unfortunately, for privacy reasons, I do have to censor this email. It's totally not just her first name and last name at this domain. Like, why would I censor that? You could just guess that. It's totally dumb. But it's at the domain w4work.net, not U.S. funeral expenses. w4work.net. What the heck is that? Well, unfortunately, if you try to go to it, it doesn't resolve. It's not a website that exists. And there's no snapshots of it in the Wayback Machine. If you do a Whois lookup, it looks like it was created in 2017 and is good through to 2028, but the registrar information is private, unfortunately, as is typically the case. Notwithstanding, I did email Camilla at that email address. This email is quite short and brief and not professional like my emails usually are. Honestly, I was expecting this email to just bounce anyway. I was expecting the email address to be fake or the domain, to not exist, and therefore this email wouldn't be deliverable. So I kept it brief, and of course she wouldn't respond in the first place, right? So who cares? It did not bounce, but she also never replied. DocuSign keeps a record of signature events, so we can see down here, Camilla Williams, her email is testagent@email, which is really ironic. I don't know if she didn't fill that out or what happened there, but yeah, no security level. There's her name signed. It looks like this was sent to her and she viewed it and signed it within about 20 seconds. And this was signed using this IP address. Now, if you trace that IP address, it goes to Seattle, Washington, but it looks like it's a VPN. Now, this is not something too extraordinary. It could be possible that her employer, whoever the fuck her employer actually is, makes her sign into a VPN in order to do her job because she works remote. I don't know why she would sign into one in Washington and not, a different state, like why they pick Seattle. But yeah, so if this is a VPN, which it looks like that's what it is, then this is also another dead end. Okay, no luck with email or with her domain. Why don't we just look her up in the California Department of Insurance? It didn't work with Paul Brooks, but she might be listed there. So if we look her up, we see there are 2 licensed Camilla Williamses, one in Florida and one in Virginia. I did not ask Camilla where she's from. I know we were on the phone for an hour and a half, but it just kind of didn't come up. However, the VoIP number she gave me for texting her is in Florida, so let's just go for broke and check Florida. Florida has their own licensed agent search, so we look up Camilla Williams. These are the same 2, Florida and Virginia, and would you look at that? Her agent number or her license number is Whiskey 863882, Whiskey 863882. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. So yeah, license number matches. This business address is actually a residence, so I have to censor it. Her email, she has a Gmail account. Again, I have to censor it. County is just blank. It looks like she's behind on her continuing education credits. Her full name is Camilla Williams. Again, mailing address, same as business address. I have to censor it. And we get a phone number. And I have to emphasize, this is all completely public information that you could find yourself if you wanted to. I'm not suggesting you reach out to this person. Please don't. But, and for privacy reasons, I have to censor this information for YouTube, but this is completely public information. You could find yourself in mere seconds if you wanted to. So I grabbed that phone number and texted it. That's quite extreme, you might argue, but I can't get a hold of her any other way, so might as well, right? So I go, "Hi, Camilla." "Hi, who's this?" "Hi, I'm Lindsay. How are you?" "I don't recall anyone with your name." "Thanks for answering the question on how you are. You helped me with a life insurance policy some time ago through U.S. funeral expenses. Someone will be reaching out to you for any questions about your policy, but you're my agent on record." No response. She never responded again. I'm still confused by this section. Someone will be reaching out to you for any questions about your policy. Did she misinterpret that this was a recent policy and someone will be reaching out to me about it to follow up? Or did she figure out who I was and contact someone to contact me because I don't get it. I'm confused. But yeah, even though she's the agent on record, which she emphasized herself when she signed me up for the policy, this was her response and nothing beyond that. So, like I said, if you have any sympathy for Camilla that I wasted an hour and a half of her time on a non-existent policy, she's not exactly an angel herself. Okay, you found the life insurance agents, but who does she work for? Well, this is the tricky part. A lot of these shady scam call centers will use very generic terms like American benefits, family benefits, healthcare benefits, and so in this case, U.S. funeral expenses, if you Google that, it just gives you articles and SEO pages about how much a funeral costs in the U.S. So you can't really find a company name because it's so generic like that. USfuneralexpenses.com is for sale. USfuneralexpenses.net does exist, and it looks like this, but all it is a phone number, which is different from any of the phone numbers I've been given previously, and a form for you to fill out. They do have a privacy policy, but it doesn't list like a physical address or anything. So, I don't want to say for sure it's these guys because I don't know, but they obviously do the same thing and they are a hit. Again, Camilla's email is through w4work.net, not usfuneralexpenses.net. So I don't know. I've done all this investigation. At least I found the agent that it led to, but who she works for, I have no idea. And I don't think she'll ever say. So far, this has been pretty wild. I spent nearly 2 hours with these people on the phone, and I did a thorough investigation that led me to the personal phone number of the licensed agent who handled my policy. But that's only the beginning. There is more. So if you remember, Camilla signed me up with Prosperity Life Group after Rowan Neighbors just wasn't working out because I was too incompetent to sign the contract. So 2 days after that call, first thing in the morning, I get a phone call. Hello?
Hello, good morning. Is this Lindsay Gardner?
Yes.
Mrs. Gardner, my name is Matthew Myers, and I am your policy manager with Prosperity Life. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. Well, Mrs. Gardner, actually, you have a policy with us worth of $21,000, and your daughter, Julie Cooper, is the beneficiary of the policy. Is it correct?
Yes.
Well, ma'am, you got approved for this policy on May the 27th, 2 days ago. Your first initial draft will be next month, right?
Yes.
Well, ma'am, the reason of this call is when we're trying to validate your ID, we couldn't, identify, we couldn't validate your ID. Can you send me your, driving license picture on the same number that I'm calling so we can start your policy next month?
Yeah, just the,
Just a picture.
just the front, or do you want the front and the back?
Yeah, only the front, man.
Okay.
That is fine. So we could start your policy, all right?
Right, okay.
All right. So in the future, if you need any question regarding your policy, you just call me back on the same number. My name is Matthew Myers. I'm going to assist you on anything you need, okay?
Okay.
मुझे नहीं दिया भाई. All right.
2 minutes later. 2 minutes. Hello?
Yes, Lindsay.
Yes.
I am waiting. Can you send me the picture, please?
Sure.
Or you want me to give this number? Do you have this number right on your screen?
What I'm seeing on my end is 561-468-5756.
756. Yes, ma'am, that's my number. To send a picture on the same number.
Okay.
So we can start your policy next month. Okay?
Sure.
So in the future, if you had any concern, if you had any question regarding your policy with Prosperity Life, you just can call me back and we can sort out your problem on the same number. All right?
Okay.
So right now I want to send it so we can, complete your application.
So you can receive pictures and documents and stuff at this phone number.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sure.
All right. All right. Thank you. Take care.
I just woke up. He calls. I go to pee, and he calls me back. Where's the picture? Dude, chill the fuck out. He also texts me, I'm waiting, send ASAP. So at this point, I have no desire to be quick about sending him anything because he's being such an impatient ass. But I do engage with him in conversation. I ask him if he has a security code, which is something that Camilla told me to do. If anyone contacts me about the policy, make sure they have a security code. And he provides it, and it's correct. So I decided to send him the audio of at least the beginning portion of the original call and ask him who those people were, what is their involvement in all of this. But all he says is, I'm Matthew Myers, your policy manager with Prosperity Life, and he gives me my policy number. And then he calls me again. Hello?
Hello, is this Mrs. Gardner?
Yes?
Mrs. Gardner, I'm still waiting. Like, I'm your policy manager with Prosperity Life. You haven't sent me to validate your ID. So can you send me your driving license ID or identification card picture, please?
So if you're the license manager, who's Camilla?
Camilla Williams is our underwriter, ma'am. Camilla Williams is the underwriter, and I'm the policy manager with Prosperity Life. If you want to verify anything, ma'am, I can do that.
So did you listen to the audio recording thing I sent?
Yes, I listened to that,
who are
ma'am.
those people?
They are the agent. I don't know which department, but I think they are sales department agent.
They're all sales department agents?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the first one
and the first one, like that sound, I don't know about that, ma'am, but we are not in the sales department. We are direct from Prosperity Life. We are the policy manager, so we can manage which policy has this kind of problem. We solve that problem.
Right.
Yes, ma'am. And I have your, if you want me to verify your social and your banking, I can also do that. And your policy will start next month on the 1st. So that's why. And do you have the policy number that I've sent it? I already sent it to you, the policy number with Prosperity Life.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. That is your policy number. And your application ID, I also have your application ID. That is 3518776. So I just need to complete the application. So is there a possible way can send me your identification card or driving license card picture, so we can process your application here?
Yeah. Does it would a passport work?
No. Passport won't work, man. We don't need any passport or something like that. No.
I mean, it's
just need to.
A passport is a federal ID. Like, it's better than a driver's license.
Driver license or passport. So what's the issue? You don't drive or what? Or you don't have any driving license?
I can't seem to find. It's probably in the car or maybe like in the safety deposit. Well, I try to take transit and walk as much as I can. So like I have a license. But I mean, since I just went on a vacation, I have my passport handy. So it's like, can I just use a passport?
What about, do you have your identification card?
I mean, I would just have my license. Does the passport really not work?
California? Sure, you can send me, but I don't know about that, but I'll try my best to complete your application with your passport.
Wait, so is Prosperity Life the name of the actual insurance company, or is it SBLI?
SBLI, SUSA, Prosperity Life, they're all the same name.
Okay. That's why the logos are different. Okay.
And let me tell you about your policy. The status is still on pending. It says that I need to set up pending authentication document for ID. So that is why I called you to identify your to validate your ID.
But Camilla told me that it was approved.
Yes, ma'am, it is approved. Everything is all set. When the thing is that when we are trying to process the application to our company, but it says unable to authenticate customer ID, and that's why the status of your policy is pending due to authentication document for identity.
At this point, I get another scam call, so I drop him to take that call instead. So my plan is to just send him my go-to ID in these situations, which is McLovin, which is hilarious. But I want to have him on the phone when I send him this ID just to get his reaction, because the reactions usually are pretty funny. Now, up to this point, he had only been calling me. I'd never tried calling him. So when I call him to get him on the phone, this happens. All right, back to our boy. What is his name again? He is Matthew Myers. All right, let's see if this number actually works. Oh. If I call that number back, it just insta drops. So he can call me from 561-468-5756. But when I call him, all right, I'm going to make this spicy then. It's on. I text him explaining that I dropped him because I had another call, but that when I'm trying to call him back, it just drops. What's going on? He tells me to call him again because he was trying to call me at that very moment. That's not how that works, but okay. But I sent him a screenshot showing that every time I try to call him, it just shows the call failed. It just drops. And I send him this log of all the canceled calls because they keep dropping. But he just says, try again. He then tries to call me, but I send him to voicemail. I'm not going to let him call me. I have to be able to call him. So he's frustrated. He's like, hello? I send him this little short screen recording video demonstrating that every time I try to call him, it just instantly drops. It doesn't ring. It doesn't do anything. It just goes nowhere. Why is this happening? I've never had this happen. Every time I call someone, either the call goes through or it's a voicemail or something, but it just doesn't do anything. I've never had this happen. He's not getting calls from me either, apparently. But he's able to call me. And also the other numbers that I'm calling for Camilla and Mr. Brooks, aren't going. What the heck is happening here? Is this a landline? What is this? And he's like, no, Lindsay, please try again, please. Oh, and it's a cell phone. This number is a cell phone. What carrier do you use? Can we try again, please, so we can complete your application with us? What carrier are you using? You know what? I have phone numbers with multiple carriers. Perhaps I can use a different phone number of my own, and we can figure this out. He says nothing for 2 hours and then texts his spiel. Hi, Lindsay. I hope you're having a good day. I'm Matthew, your policy manager, blah, blah, blah. The usual thing. He's just basically robo-texting at this point. So at this point, I just ignore his calls entirely. I'm dealing with other scam calls. So he spoofs his number and calls me about 3 hours later. Hello?
Hello, is this Lindsay?
Yes.
Lindsay, this is Matthew Myers, your policy manager with Prosperity Life.
Ooh, you've got a different phone number. Did you finally figure out your phone number
ma'am.
thing?
No, ma'am, it's not like that. Well, I was trying from that number, but you didn't pick up the call, so I used system, we are using this for automatic dialing system.
661-226. Yeah, keep going.
Well, I was asking, ma'am, are you even interested to process your application?
So I still want to know
regarding your policy?
where is it now? What is your other number? Yeah.
561-468-5756.
Do you know what carrier it's with? Since you said it's a cell phone, is it AT&T, Verizon? What you using?
It's AT&T.
It's AT&T.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have another call. Give me a second. I will call you back. I love the unintentional joke where I told them I would call him back, even though this whole issue is that I can't call him back. Anyway, normally I wait until the end of a section to do the investigation, but I just want to call out this bullshit right now. This phone number is under Twilio. Hey, it's Twilio again. And it's not a wireless number. The caller ID is Haifa General, which I don't really know. I tried Googling it, and the closest I could find is Haifa General Contracting, which is some mining company or something. But yeah, no, it's not a cell phone, and no, it's not under AT&T, you lying sack of shit. Now, of course, I couldn't call it at the time. That's what the whole fuss was about. But nowadays, if you call it, you get this.
Thank you for calling American Final Expense. Please stay on the line. Your call is very important to us. Did you know that our average policy costs less than a cup of coffee? Get qualified today.
Identical to what happens when you call Camilla's textable phone number. I didn't mention it on her section, but all it does is just play hold music and then repeat that line. I'm not sure if you ever actually get connected to anybody. I didn't stick around to find out, but hey, the phone number is here. So if you want to find out and let me know in the comments, that'd be great. Now, I rarely call out scammers, partially because I know as soon as I call them out, they're just going to hang up on me. And the whole point is to drag them along and waste their time. But also, it's more fun to name and shame them on YouTube for the rest of eternity. However, this is one of those rare moments where I just text him the result and go, AT&T wireless number, you say. I'm so proud of this. I know it didn't matter to him because he's just a scammer in an Indian call center, but that felt good. I'm still smiling about it today. But he just says Twilio is the platform, AT&T is the carrier. So I school him on how Twilio works because I have a Twilio account and I know very well the pricing, the structure, how all that works. And shockingly, he didn't respond to this, but he did call me again.
यार ये कॉल लेना सिर्फ उनसे सोशल सिक्योरिटी की पिक्चर मंगवानी है ये सिर्फ ये पूछते हैं आपने कि we just need your like ID card or driving license for the verification. नहीं ये नहीं हो सकता आप ये करेंसी को लाइक हुआ मुझे आई नहीं करने है मैं कर लूंगा आपके बाद में शनिवार से कॉल भी कर Hello. Hello.
I mean, come the fuck on, bitch.
Hello.
Hello.
Is this a Lindsay Gardner?
Yes.
Sorry for the waiting, Lindsay. Well, Lindsay, I was trying to reach you from another number, but I couldn't reach you. As I told you before, ma'am, yesterday, I was talking about your policy with Prosperity Life. So the thing is that, do you want to know, do you want to continue your policy or not? So I can figure this out.
Do you want to admit to being a scammer, or you want to keep playing around?
No, ma'am, to be honest with you, if it's a scam, I would never call you again. Right? If you think that if it's something like that, so obviously you can just let me know, so I'm going to cancel your policy.
So you're not going to admit to the sketchy call center noises I just heard. You guys are in some shitty call center in India. You're not going to admit to that? You're in America? You're a Prosperity Life in America?
Yes, ma'am.
He never called me again. And of course, I can't call him. I still don't know what the hell Prosperity Life is. As best I can tell, they're like a management company that handles like the verification and payment and stuff for life insurance policies. But the policies themselves are actually underwritten by SBLI, which is a company they've tried to sign me up before many times across many agents. So that's it. That's the entire saga. U.S. funeral expenses to Prosperity Life, bunch of bullshit all the way down. You know, I realize that life insurance is a legitimate industry backed by insurance companies that have been around for over a century, and there are lots of hardworking, honest life insurance agents. They're not featured on this channel because they don't use shady scam call centers, but this is an experience. You know, this is what shopping like a policy can be like in some cases. And these people are giving the industry a bad name. and they should be on everyone's shit list.